How's it going, guys? I am that socially awkward gamer you probably forgot existed, otherwise known as Patty Jack, and I've been browsing Kickstarter lately, looking for interesting games because they've started promoting Canadian Kickstarters, and I'm Canadian, so that's awesome, right? Anyways, I stumbled across this game developed by Eden Industries. This is called Citizens of Earth. It's a weird game. So we'll get into that in a second anyways. Like I said, it's developed by Eden Industries. They were responsible for Waveform, which is kind of like a space action puzzle shooter rhythm type game. It's really hard to explain, but it was generally pretty well received by critics. It has like an 81 on Metacritic, and the guys in this company right now were responsible for like Luigi's Mansion, and even one of them worked on like the Ghost Recon titles, which is awesome. So those are all pretty well-received games in their own right. And I just thought I'd check it out because there's a free demo on right now. If you want to go check out the game, you know, links in the description for the Kickstarter and the demos and all that stuff. So yeah, let's get right into it because this is an interesting game. Let's load up our last save here. Alright, so welcome to Citizens of Earth. This is a very tongue-in-cheek game. It's very interesting. It's kind of like a mix between Pokemon and Final Fantasy, with a bunch of like social commentary thrown in there, which is really interesting actually. And obviously it's in alpha stages, so everything that you see here is not necessarily representative of the final product and whatever the hell Total Biscuit says. So yeah, this is kind of like a top-down Pokemon style modern RPG. So what do you do in this game? You are the vice president of the world. I'm not sure where the president is, it hasn't been explained at all yet. And your goal is basically to wander around your town and try to make people like you and ward off protesters and recruit more people into your party. So at the moment, I have 3 people in my party. And the first guy you see up here is my brother. I've named him Broham because you can name everyone in your party, which is kind of a nice little touch. So his name is Broham, and that's your main character's mommy. I named her Terminator, of course, and this is... Well, I named this guy Colbert. I don't know why, he reminded me of Stephen Colbert for some reason. He's kind of like a conspiracy nut, so I just helped him by going around the town and finding all these walking coffee beans that I assume are aliens, and kind of prove that the Moonbucks, which is a coffee restaurant akin to Starbucks, is serving you alien coffee. And the police didn't believe him, unfortunately, so they released him into my custody. So now he gets to follow me around. So let's see what the police woman has to say, if anything else. She seems very jolly. Totally didn't call her fat. Okay, what's your business here today? Do you have something to report? Can I recruit her? Let's see what she wants. So what you do is you like find all these side characters and everything, and then you try to recruit them into your party. They help you with combat. They have their own special abilities, so that's kind of like a Pokemon Final Fantasy thing. And we'll get into the combat in a second, so I just want to show you this while we're here. Alright, so we're asking her if she can come with us, because it wouldn't be weird at all to have a lawman and a fugitive that was released into my custody in my party at all. Okay. This town is in the throes of madness. I'm needed at the station. Sounds like you'd be more needed at the streets, but I guess there's more donuts here. If things calm down around here, I'll think about it. So I would assume in order to do that, I would have to defeat X amount of protesters or something along those lines. I'm not exactly sure. Okay, so now we're outside and we are in the main exploring area of the game. As you can see, my party follows me around. There's lots of areas to go into. Like I can go into the bakery if I want to. I can go into the Moonbucks, but we'll get to that in a second. I want to show you the combat first of all. So you can see all these protesters who are wandering around being all angry-faced and red-nosed. And then there's the like weird women that just kind of shuffle around the ground. So we'll get into a bit of combat here and show you what it's like. That's the combat initiation screen. And here we go. Now here's where you'll see the Pokemon / Final Fantasy style combat. You get each of your characters and they can all have their own attacks and special abilities and whatnot. So we start off with Broham here, and he has a couple abilities. Basically what you do is you use regular attacks like these ones to build up your energy bubbles. And then once you get to those, once you get them built up, after that you can use special attacks such as Pummel. So we'll just go ahead because we already have some saved up from the last battle. So his special ability is Doggy Pile, which does a crap ton of damage. We might be able to hit him in one hit actually, hopefully. Okay, so what we can do with Terminator here, she's kind of like a healing support type character. So there are very RPG-like elements in this. You have your tanks, you have your rogues, but they're all just kind of clouded up in these more modern styles. So she's kind of like a healer. She can use her special ability to heal Broham or heal Colbert if they're being like damaged a lot. And she'll also offer you like tips and stuff in the game because this is the demo and she's one of like the starter characters. So I don't think we'll need that right now. So what we use is her general attack, which is Nag. So it's not like a traditional RPG where you can kind of just hit people, you know? Like a lot of the attacks are supposed to be like humorous and more verbal based. So you're not just gonna run up to someone and stab them with a sword because that doesn't happen in real life. You'll get arrested, which is you know, I wish I could stab some people, but I probably shouldn't say that on the internet. Okay, so we'll just use Lecture for her. And this is my first time with this guy, so he has Brainwave. He's a conspiracy person, so I guess that makes sense. Trap an enemy brainwaves and analyze the data. We could try that. So I guess we're going to interrogate him, which displays and records an enemy's stats, which would be useful for understanding which attacks will do what. Like what'll do more damage and stuff like that. So I guess we'll go with that. Okay, so it randomly used Terminator at first to use Nag. Interesting. And Broham just dogpiled him and kicked his ass. Awesome. And then when you win, you earn XP in a very Pokemon Final Fantasy-like fashion, and your characters level up gradually. So it takes a lot of inspiration from other games, but it kind of puts it in a more modern setting. I like the social commentary in this game, actually. It's very subtle, but you'll notice things like your main character doesn't partake in the battle. He kind of steps behind everything and just lets everyone else fight his battles for him, which is very politician-y. So it's very centered around this kind of tongue-in-cheek, like, just grind against like politics and everything. So it's interesting. Okay, so I think we can go up to a boss battle here. We might have to get through this guy first of all. I tried fighting this guy earlier and it didn't work out so well, but now I have another character, so maybe I can beat him a bit easier this time. Okay, so we don't have any energy balls ready to use our main attack, so we'll just have to build them up a little bit. What we will do is use her to heal Broham with her hugging ability. You know, a hug from your mom. It's gonna make you feel all good, and you'll feel better. It magically heals all your wounds. Okay, so we will argue with him too. We're gonna accuse him of being an alien, or whatever this guy does, after we wrestle him to the ground, apparently. And as you'll notice, like, your main character is just kind of off to the side offering you, you know, moral support, but it's just, it's interesting that he doesn't take part in anything. Main character is also very lazy. He likes to stay in bed all the time, and it's very, it's interesting. Okay, I'm getting attacked by her too. Wonderful. I was ambushed by a heckler, so you can get, they will chase you down, but you can generally avoid it. If they do catch you, then you do get like a bit of a decrease in your stats and everything, because it's like, oh, they caught you by surprise. You can also do that to the protesters as well. You can catch them by surprise and lower their attributes in the same manner. So it's interesting. They won't like follow you to the ends of the earth, which is very nice. So like once you get far enough away, they'll just kind of say, oh, he's too far away, I'm lazy, and I'll leave. Okay, so we're just going to wrestle her again. I think that when they ambush you, it takes down your power bubbles, so you don't have access to those special abilities, which makes it a bit harder, and you take more damage because you can't just one-shot them and get rid of them, you know? Okay, so we will lecture her, and we will argue with her. Because she's also an alien. Okay, she's done. No chance. And Colbert is leveled up to level 2. That's perfect. So it gives you a nice little stats screen. Shows you how your character's doing. I don't know, this game reminds me of mobile games quite often. It seems like something that would work very well on like a tablet. Just like the interface to it, the general movement, the motion, just the type of game it is too. So, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna talk to this guy here. It's gonna be sort of a mini boss battle. Okay, so this is basically like the opposition leader. He's the guy that you beat in the original election, and he's angry, and he has really big eyebrows, so obviously he's the bad guy. I mean, he's got his big red suit. So we will fight him. After he goes through his little dialogue there. Okay, let's do this. Again, I did lose with this guy earlier, so we'll see how this goes. I guess I'll have to roughhouse with you one more time. And we will nag. We'll nag him as well. And we will brainwave him. Oh, I need all 3 of my power bar. Yeah, so they don't all cost 1 power bubble. Sometimes you need 2 or 3. So I guess we're going to have to argue with him one more time. We should be able to beat this guy pretty easily now. I'm hoping. You never really know. And now he's brought him back up. Wonderful. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this guy is use Rough and Tumble, which will actually attack every target on the screen, which is very nice. Because it'll damage him and then her, obviously. If he brought anyone else, it would do the same thing. Okay. We'll just nag again. We'll nag her. Just to get her out of there. And we will use Brainwave on this guy. We will interrogate the opposition leader. Okay, she's almost done. Okay, so now we know his stats. I'm not exactly sure how useful that is at this point in the game, but we'll find out. No, Colbert! You're an American icon. Jeez, don't get hurt. Okay. We will use Rough and Tumble one more time just to get rid of her. And we'll use Encourage and we'll hug Colbert. If it lets me, there we go. And Colbert will argue with the opposition leader. Okay, that's just down to him now. Last time he called in someone else, so we'll see. Maybe he has to be a certain amount of health. No, he doesn't. He'll just call in someone else. Great. I accuse the opposition leader of a cover-up. So it is aliens. I knew it. I knew it had to be aliens. Okay, we'll doggy pile the opposition leader. And we will nag the protester. And then we will argue with the protester again to get him out of here. Because we're gonna do, yeah, we did some major damage to the opposition leader that time. Ooh, Colbert! You okay? Colbert savagely accused the protester of a cover-up this time. Protester hurts you deep inside with a scathing ridicule. Oh, you're a jerk. Okay. So we will roughhouse, we will rough and tumble with everyone. And we will encourage, we will hug Colbert again. Seems a little creepy, but okay. Then we will accuse the opposition leader of something. There we go. We got it. Why is he after Colbert? That's scary. And he's almost done. This should do it. Okay, we'll give Colbert another hug. Because your health does not regenerate once you exit battle. You have to use items or go back home and sleep, kind of like Pokemon centers or whatever. Didn't really play Pokemon that much when I was a kid. We'll just accuse him one more time. But he's done anyways. And we beat him, that's good. We're at 14 XP. So everyone's leveled up, it looks like. Oh, Colbert didn't. Well, I guess he just did, so it's not really a big deal. He's going to disband his protests, so maybe that'll clear out the protesters and allow me to recruit some more people. I'm hoping. Yep, he's a bad guy. He's definitely a bad guy. He even drives a red car. It's a little presumptuous. Oh, Colbert did level up. Wonderful. Colbert can now confuse people, apparently. I'm okay with that. Hey, a birdie. Hi, birdie. Okay. So we should be able to hopefully go back to Moonbucks and recruit someone. Let's go over there. To the totally not Starbucks-inspired place at all. Okay, maybe I can recruit you now? No, I can't recruit him yet. So, hello, Mrs. Barista. Can I recruit you? So, what about the special blend? Okay, so I need to go find the missing manager in order to recruit her. And he could be God knows where. Could really be anywhere. What about this guy? Oh, nope, clicked it again. Hold up. There we go. Okay, so we couldn't recruit anyone from there, but it looks like the protests have, for the most part, disbanded, which is good. So can we get these roadblocks done? They kind of, like, the police kind of roadblock you from certain areas until you, like, do, like, maybe, I guess, the story missions. And then after that, you can kind of get through there willy-nilly, I would assume. Or not. Okay, let's go to the bakery and see what's up. Hello, sir. Can I recruit you yet? Yes, I did take care of the opposition leader. He'd really been harassing you? Well, that's not good. Alright, so the baker is forever in my debt. Kind of reminds me of Jar Jar Binks and his whole scenario, but whatever. Okay. He'll bake more advanced goodies. A little typo there, guys. You might want to fix that up. Just saying. Okay, so there I can name him. Let's name him Jared. Jared as in the Subway guy. He had a relapse and he ate a bunch of cupcakes. Yep. Okay, so I guess I have too many. I can only have 3 characters at a time. Let's keep rolling with the guys we got. So I'm assuming Jared over here, he'll be able to like bake me new items and act as kind of like a general healer for the group. He might also be a tank. I don't know. I'm just assuming because he's a little top heavy. Okay, so this is kind of the general feeling of Citizens of Earth. It's very, I guess interesting really is the right word. It's not finished, obviously, but the game will be coming out on Steam. So it's going to come out regardless of whether the Kickstarter is successful or not. So I guess the Kickstarter is really just to get a bit of extra funding and hopefully make the game, you know, the best it can be. So I'm okay with that. I don't know, a few general thoughts about the game. The art style's interesting. You know, it seems a little simple. Kind of reminds me of, I don't know, like Tonka toys or Tonka trucks from when I was a kid, but it's interesting. It's very cheerful. There's nothing really angry about it. There's lots of colors to it. It's a very nice game. The main character, you know, your vice president who doesn't really do anything, is interesting. He kind of reminds me of Anchorman. You know, Ron Burgundy, if he weren't a total jerk. So that's fine. The humor in the game is good. It's serviceable. I kind of have a bit of a problem distinguishing who it's aimed at, though, because when you look at the game itself, it kind of seems like, you know, your childish game or something that adults might pick up just for a laugh. So you'd kind of expect the humor to be very tongue-in-cheek, which most of it is. But there's a few references in there, mainly one that I saw the first time I went and talked to the baker. I went and found a donuts in... No, it wasn't a donut. It was... I think it was in here. I wonder if it'll show me that again, actually. Yeah, it was over by this forge here. It said, only a true master baker uses wood. And I think we all get that reference. And it's funny, I guess. I mean, it's not the most amazing joke in the world, but I think we all understand the reference to, you know, choking the chicken. But to me, it seems kind of odd to put in a game like this, because the game itself is so cheery and cheerful, and you wouldn't expect, like, this seems like a Club Penguin type thing, and you wouldn't expect a reference to, you know, masturbation. I mean, to be quite frank. So I don't know, maybe work on your humor a bit. You've got plenty of time to do it because you're still in alpha, so I don't know. Just jokes like that kind of turn me off because it's not something I look for in this type of game. So, I don't know. General thoughts on the game, it's nice, it's fun. I think I would be more interested in buying it, though, if it was on like a mobile device rather than on my PC. And I think the game's gonna retail for like $15 when it comes out, so there better be a heck of a lot of content to justify me paying $15 for this game, is all I'm gonna say. Obviously, this is first impressions, so I haven't really gone into the game a whole lot, but it's enjoyable. I'm having fun with it, don't get me wrong, but it needs a bit more, and maybe that'll come in the later game. So I'll keep playing through the demo and see what I think afterwards. But other than that, that's kind of my first impressions on the game. It's a good start. If you're into this kind of like Pokemon, Final Fantasy game, but you like kind of like social commentary and a bit more tongue-in-cheek humor, then you might want to check it out. Or at least go get the demo on Kickstarter like you can do right now. You can download it, it's free. So that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, you know, hit that like button. Go support them on Kickstarter if you want to. If you haven't subscribed to me, you know, do that because I'm awesome. And I'll link you to their YouTube channel and everything. So I am Patty Jack. I will see you guys next time. Peace out.